Hello there, Tristan White here. I hope you are really well for a Friday lunchtime, Melbourne, Australia time. My name's Tristan White. I'm the founder and chief guide at the Culture is Everything Club, and I'm here today to give you a quick introduction to this thing called the Culture is Everything Club, which is a safe online space for leaders to learn the skills, build the confidence, and be supported to become the very best leader they can be. I believe the world needs more great places to work, and the way we can build more great places to work is to have more curious, connected, and caring leaders who are doing everything they can to learn, grow, and become the best versions of themselves, which will help them to then create a strong, repeatable culture, and which are the foundations of a great place to work in my experience. That is the concept. My name is Tristan White. I've spent the last 16 years growing a business called the Physio Co. From startup of just myself to a team which at its biggest, 150 team members across a large part of Australia. And right now, as the world changes, we're adjusting and pivoting and moving towards a new and exciting future at the Physio Co. But right now, I'm here to tell you about the Culture is Everything Club. If you are here with me, then please give me the thumbs up and or say hello in the comments. I'm staring down the lens of the camera. You can see me, but I can't see you, so I'd love it if you'd be brave enough to jump in the comments, say hello, let me know if you're tuning in, where you're tuning in from, what brings you here. I'd love to understand who's here and how I can best serve and answer any questions that does come up. Now, what we're going to do today is I'm going to introduce myself and the Culture is Everything Club, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to talk through this thing called the Culture is Everything journey, which is a concept of how I found myself working from a reactive, busy, stressful part of my life to working through and understanding the system to create a strong team culture, which helped me to create stability in my life and in my team. And then moving beyond that level of stability to become the best leader I can be, and moving through to a level of clarity, and then ultimately moving towards a level of mastery, and mastery being the place where I can be working on my business rather than in the business. I can be a calm, clear, and inspiring leader, and I can be making sure that I understand what's involved in creating a great place to work, which attracts and keep great people doing their very best work. That is the concept that I'd like to talk you through. From there, I'd like to then tell you about the options that you can consider joining to the Culture is Everything Club. It's not for everyone. There are people that the Culture is Everything Club is for, and there's people that the Culture is Everything Club is not for. And I'll talk you through those to make sure you get the really good understanding as to what is the best way to decide if it is the right time for you to consider joining the Culture is Everything Club. And lastly, I'll give you a sneaky peek on the inside of the Culture is Everything Club, what it looks like if you were to join, the welcome screen, the welcome part of the Culture is Everything Club, and then the leadership roadmap that we will be following inside the Culture is Everything Club, which is really the heartbeat of the learning that exists within our club. So that's the concept. That's what we're about to dive into. If you are here, then thanks so much for being here live. If you're on the replay, thanks for choosing to be on the replay as well. Whichever you choose, I'm wrapped you here. If you've got any questions, please do type in the comments. If you are here, please do write in the comments. I'd love to say hello. I'd love to see who's tuning in, where you're tuning in from. If you've got a question, please ask it as we go. I'll do my best to answer them. I'll do my best to answer every question. And if you're on the replay, I'll promise to circle back and respond the best way I can. So on that note, let's make a start. I want to share my screen for a second. I want to show you this Culture is Everything journey that I've been talking about. So now on your screen now should be a fairly colourful document called the Culture is Everything journey. And in the top left of the screen, it should say, from unsustainable stress to a team and life that's in your control. That's the concept. That's the idea of working through this from the bottom left, where you might find yourself, and that's feeling stuck and or frustrated. I definitely have found myself there in the past. And also, you might be looking for a better way to grow yourself and or your team or team culture. That is something that's where you might find yourself. And you also see there's a Culture is Everything book, a Think Big, Act Small podcast, and a Time Out Live Daily Huddle logo there. There's some of the places you might have found me and found this idea of the Culture is Everything system and or the Culture is Everything Club. But if we move along this journey, and I don't think you're going to be able to see my mouse, but if we move from the big red arrow on the left there and move along towards the place of stability. Now, stability, in my experience, happens when we build a culture by design. A culture by design is based upon the Culture is Everything system. It's based upon the 19 steps that I believe are needed to build a great place to work. And those things are the things that you'll find inside the Culture is Everything book, inside the Culture is Everything system. And if you want to fast track it, you can choose to enroll and work with me in one of the Culture is Everything Kickstarter programs, which is the way that I can help you and guide you through implementing those Culture is Everything steps, the part of the checklist. And so that's the first part of this Culture is Everything journey, is from a place of busyness, a place of stress, a place of not quite sure how to build the team, to putting the steps and repeatable systems in place that will then help you to build some stability. And that's where I found myself after a number of years of growing the Physio Co and feeling very stressed and growing the team, but not really having the stability to be able to think about myself as a leader and where we're headed. Beyond that, as you keep moving up the towards the top right of the screen, you'll see that we move towards the Culture is Everything Club, the big circle that helps us to find clarity, and then moving towards a level of mastery in the top right of the screen. Now, these things are what I'm hoping to work with you and the right people to get a real clarity and then mastery in themselves as a leader, to become a caring, connected and curious leader who leans in and supports their team and oversees and supports and continues to evolve and improve the culture by design that is created with the Culture is Everything system. And if you choose the Culture is Everything Kickstarter program as a starting point. And so that's the concept. And so I might need to move out of the way here. But the bottom right of the screen, it talks about becoming a clear, calm and inspiring leader who's able to work on their business, not in their business, who understands how to build a great place to work, and lastly, have got more time and space to do the things that they want to do in their life. Now, that's the concept. That's where I'd like to help as many people as possible to be able to move in that direction. So first things first, that is the Culture is Everything journey that I wanted to point you towards. Feel free, if you've got a question, I'd love to know. If you've got a question, you've got a comment, can you see yourself on this journey? Can you spot yourself somewhere? Are you in the bottom left? You think you're more in the stability type of place? Are you moving towards the clarity and mastery? Feel free, comment away. I'd love to know where you spot yourself on that journey map. And then from there, I can help you really understand and decide what is the best way, the best way forward from there. So that's the first part of the thing I want to share with you. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move to the next screen, and as I move forward, what we've got here is a image of the landing page, of the page over at the Culture is Everything Club. So cultureiseverything.club is the website where you'll find this online space that helps leaders learn the skills, build the confidence, and be supported to be the very best leader they can be. So as we scroll down, this is a pretty long page, and I don't want to go through every part of it. There's a short video of me there sort of introducing you, but I do want to bring your attention to this point. The Culture is Everything Club is open for new members right now from September 14, which was Monday, and on Sunday night, this Sunday night, which will be the 21st of September, the doors will close for 2020, and we won't be able to join until 2021 is the next time we'll open. So please keep that in mind as we work through this. The Culture is Everything Club, I've already explained to you what it is: a safe online space for leaders to learn the skills, build the confidence, and be supported to create stronger, more connected, and high-performing teams that ultimately become great places to work. That's the goal. That's the concept of the Culture is Everything Club. As I keep scrolling through, I want to get down to, there's lots of information here. You can read this all at cultureiseverything.club. But what I want to get to is the two critical parts of creating a great place to work. And they are a strong, repeatable team culture and a committed leader or leaders willing to be curious, vulnerable, and patiently persistent enough to grow themselves to be able to grow their team. That is the concept that we're talking about here. And so I'll keep scrolling. You can read the story so far. And you can read some of the things that the founding members are saying, like Jackie P here says, the weekly rhythm of this club is really helping keeping me focused, which is really pleasing. There's lots of other things to read there. But what I want to get to is this idea of who the Culture is Everything Club is for and who it's not for. So first things first, the Culture is Everything Club is not for leaders with less than 2 years of experience leading a team, leaders who aren't ready to show up, connect, and be vulnerable. This is not for people who want it done for them. This is looking, and for the next dot point there, leaders who are looking for hacks, shortcuts, or a recipe that will get them short-term results without engaging deeply with the ups and downs of a transformational journey that creates sustainability. I will guide you, I'll help you, I'll point you in the right direction, I'll hold you to account as a member of the Culture is Everything Club, but I cannot do the work for you. That is your job. And that's and the last dot point there is people who aren't willing to apply the Culture is Everything system in a tailored way that suits your team. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I've done in the past. It has to be in a version that works for you. So that's the first thing, who it's not for. If you're in those categories, then the time may not be quite right for you to join the Culture is Everything Club. So who's it for? The Culture is Everything Club is for these type of people. Leaders with at least 2 years of experience is leading a team is the first point. Leaders who are ready for an ongoing multi-step transformational journey that they will own and be responsible for their own results. If you want this to work and work well, you need to make sure that you're ready to do the work. I'll help you and support you, but you've got to do the work. And lastly, this last thing, leaders who are willing to live and embrace the Culture is Everything Club's 4 core values. The Culture is Everything Club is a values-driven organization. We've got we've got 4 core values. I believe that every organization that's got a strong culture needs between 3 and 5 core values, and you'll see the Culture is Everything core values right here. Think big, act small, commit to a rhythm of timeouts, be patiently persistent, create and embrace your counsel. The core values that are to be lived, and there's no opportunity to not live those. If you're going to be part of the Culture is Everything Club, you're expected to live those, to own those, and to be guided by them. So that's a really important point that I wanted to make sure you were clear on. All right, so let's keep moving. And I want you to know that if you find yourself in the right space, this is looking like it might be the right thing for you, then there are three membership options to join the Culture Is Everything Club. The first one is an entry level. It's a club member, which costs $49.99 per month. And it's a starting point to learn the skills, build the confidence, and gain inspiration to become a more effective leader. This level of membership, you'll get access to content, you'll get access to inspiration, but you won't get access to the group coaching and the group time or the small group time with myself. This will be more of a self-directed approach. Secondly, it's the emerging leader member. Now, this one at $99.99 per month is for business owners already on their leadership journey and ready to accelerate their personal and professional growth in a supported learning environment. Now, this one, you will get the content, the inspiration like the club members, but you also get twice a month group learning opportunities with me and with the other members of the club to show up live, engage, learn, receive the content, and then apply it in a regular way. And that's what the emerging leader member gets and is different to the club member. Last one is the action taker member. This is for business leaders who are deep within their transformational journey, wanting more support, accountability, and time in a small group with me. So in addition to the content and inspiration that the club members get and the group coaching that the emerging leaders get, the action taker members once a month, so 9 times per year, we are on a rhythm of 9 times per year with some timeouts to make sure we've got time to implement. But 9 times per year, we'll be in a 1.5 hour small group accountability session with me and with another small group of action takers where we will share what's working, share what's not working, ask questions, support each other, and you'll be held to account on the steps that you're taking to grow yourself and grow your team. And this is where the real magic happens. And this is why it's the biggest commitment, it's the most money, it's the most time, but it's also where the real transformation does occur. So they are the three options you've got. I want to keep scrolling all the way to the bottom of the page now, all the way to the bottom of cultureiseverything.club. And I want you to know that if you do choose to join us, firstly, you can always ask questions. And secondly, there is a money back guarantee. Of course, there's a guarantee. Give it a try, join us, join the monthly option. If you pay the first month, it doesn't work, it doesn't suit you, it's not what you expected, I will happily return your money. There's certainly no obligation there. There's a 28-day money back guarantee. But at the very bottom of the page is the options where you can choose a membership plan. And you can see at the bottom left, the club member. Middle is emerging leader member. And finally, on the right is the action taker member. If you click on each of these, you'll see the more details and it's all spelled out as to what's involved. Specifically for the club member, you get member to the community, you get access to the content, and you get regular challenges, questions, polls to improve your inspiration. Improve your leadership. If you go to the emerging leader member page, you'll see here that what you get, there's more. You get the same as the club members, but you access to the 9 live learning presentations and access to the 9 group Q&A workshops with me every year. So that's where the difference lies from club to emerging leader. And lastly, if you click on the Action Taker tab on the right down here, you click on that button, you'll see more about the Action Taker. And if we scroll to what's involved, at the top is the membership to the community, which is the same as the other levels of membership. The 9 live learning presentations is there. The 9 group Q&A workshops is there. But with this one, the real difference is the 9 small group accountability workshops with me and other action taken members every year. That's where the real magic happens, if you will, and that's where there's a lot more time with me, time with the other leaders, and you're really held to account to make that transformation that we spoke of. So that is the first part of the of what I wanted to share with you there. So let me just quickly come back onto the screen for a second. Here I am back again. And I've got, I just want to take a quick breather. I wanted you to see see my eyes, hopefully see me have a smile and say, how are we going? Is this answering some of the questions you might have had? If you've got any queries or questions, please ask, type in the comments. I'd love to receive them. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to help you out. I'm just trying to look at my comments here to see if there's any that are coming in. And let me just see if I can make sure that I'm not missing anything. All right, I think we're clear, which is good. Please do ask. I just didn't want to, I wouldn't want to miss anything there. So I'm going to share my screen one more time. I'm going to go back to where we were, and I want to take you inside the Culture is Everything Club. I want you to see what happens when you join. So let's go back to that screen here. If you do choose to join, you click choose, and you come through. Then you will then be prompted to enter your details, create an account, and you will find yourself inside the Culture is Everything Club. And you will find yourself right here at the welcome section of the Culture is Everything Club. And this is a beautiful place for you to join, to welcome, to read. Click on this Start Here article, which will open up, and there's a whole lot of information to talk you through some important things to know. Of course, we talk about our values again, and there's a getting started checklist, which is really important part of understanding what we're about and making sure you understand what's in there. So as I close that, you will first get to the welcome section. You'll then have understand the purpose. You'll be prompted to ask a question, and that is, tell us, fill us in, why did you join the Culture is Everything Club? And if you scroll down there, there's lots of other people who have answered, and you'll be able to be inspired by their responses. And lastly, at the very bottom of this welcome section, we have got a welcome call ready for the founding members and I to welcome you, if you choose to join, to be a member of the Culture is Everything Club. On the 2nd of October, 1:30 p.m. is our welcome call for new members. So that is the first part of what you'll see when you come in. Now, secondly, I want to take you and show you the Learning tab. So over on the left side here, inside the Culture is Everything Club, there are all these tabs. We started at the welcome section. There's all these others. I want to show you the Learning tab. The Learning tab is where you'll find the Leadership Transformation Roadmap. This is a roadmap of ever-evolving learning topics and themes that I curate and put together based upon my experience. And you'll see in here, there are the first two topics that we've already covered in July and August, leading yourself first and the foundations of leadership. Now you'll have complete access to that content. You'll be there. You can check it out, and you'll be able to have a good look around and work through this information that's already there, and you'll be prompted, especially if it's leading yourself first topic was so important, was really powerful, and I really encourage you to start there. But as you scroll down, you'll see what's coming up. In October, we're working through being assertive and holding others to account. In November, giving and getting better feedback, leading effective, engaging team meetings, managing your energy and mindset as a leader. It goes on throughout 12 months. There's 9 themes, leadership themes, that I will guide you through. And that's a really important part of the Culture is Everything Club. Now, I'm going to click on the top left over here and go back to the network. And when I go back, we're going to go back to there's the home, there's the learning, and I want to also show you this events tab. So on the left here, there's a button called the events tab. And in here, you'll see the events of the Culture is Everything Club. Now this Friday, actually in one Friday's time, next week, we've got a founding members call catch up. So it's scheduled, the founding members, the 21 founding members who were part of the club for at the launch, invited call, and it looks like there's 9 people RSVP'd so far. I reckon there'll be more turning up and RSVPing in the next few days and in time. At the moment, we've got the welcome call for new members, and so far we've got 5 people subscribed to the new member call. If you choose to join, then that one is definitely for you on the 2nd of October. If you move through, then you can see that there's our learning workshop on the 9th, our Q&A workshop on the 23rd, and if you happen to choose to be part of the Culture is Everything Club as an action taker, then the council groups are also mentioned there. So that's certainly worth knowing about the event side of things. And lastly, I just clicked on the member spaces over here on the left. The member spaces is what happens, is another part of the club. And if you are an action taker member, you'll get your very own specific space that you'll be able to engage with more of the action taker members on a more safer and private basis. Similarly, if you're an emerging leader member, you can get access to this emerging leader member space. And if you are an action taker, and you do happen to join the council, then again, there is a even more private space where you can communicate clearly with those people that you're working in the trenches with, be supported, be held to account, and also make sure you follow up and make sure between those council meetings, you are checking in, supporting others, and making sure you're making the progress that you did promise. So, I reckon they are the main parts of the Culture is Everything Club that I wanted to show you about. I will click on topics up here, I clicked on the topic section, and in here, this is slowly building out, but slowly but surely, we have got a Monday mindset post that happens every single Monday. It's about a piece of inspiration for the important work that we're doing. And also there's a weekly wins section as well. So with all that in mind, I'm going to come back to the screen over here so you can see me again. And I'm gonna say, how are we going? Are you understanding a bit more about the Culture is Everything Club? Is it making some sense? Is it of interest? If you've got any questions, please ask away. Jump in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But if it's clear, it's making sense, no stress. But I do want to make sure that we are covering everything off that we do want to cover. So with that in mind, that is most of the things I wanted to cover. There's one thing yet I haven't covered, which I did promise, and that is the what is this rhythm, the weekly and monthly rhythm of the Culture is Everything Club. Well, here's the thing. Every week there's a rhythm. On Monday, there's a Monday mindset post, which is a quote, a piece of inspiration, something that will really get your Monday off to a great start. And that's something that goes into the club every Monday, and I curate those quotes and those ideas. On Wednesday, every week, there's a poll, there's a quiz, there's a challenge, which is part of the learning map or the learning process. But I challenge you to answer the question, reflect, think, what does this mean to me? And it might be how often are you checking in with your team? How often are you scheduling those important one-to-one meetings and one-to-one or group meetings? There's all sorts of ideas that it could be, but on Wednesday there's a poll. And then on Friday, we have our learning sessions. Friday is where we come together as a group and do our learning workshops. So that's the weekly rhythm, which happens throughout each week. And then the monthly rhythm goes something like this. First Friday of the month, we have our learning workshop where we present the new theme. We start the learning. The second Friday, there's a challenge. So there's a series of questions and ideas for you to follow up from the learning theme to make sure, and from the content of the first week, to embed it, to dig deep, to spend some time really embedding those learnings. And then on week 3, Friday of week 3 of the month, what we do is we come together again in a Zoom room, in a group learning environment, and we connect, we share experiences, we keep each other to account, we ask questions and make sure that that learning theme that we've been working through is really embedded, and we have a chance to learn from others, clarify, and make sure we're making good progress. And then on the 4th Friday of the month is for the action takers. That's when we have the council. The council meetings happen on the 4th Friday of the month. They did go for an hour. They used to be an hour, but when the first couple of months, we've now expanded that to an hour and a half for each of those council meetings, and they happen on the 4th Friday of the month. So that's the rhythm that I've been talking about. And it was Vern Harnish, who is the author of Scaling Up, who's been a long-term mentor of mine, and he said, routine sets you free. And I entirely believe it. And that's where the idea of the top 3 priorities comes every day, which if you do attend the Time Out Live Daily Huddles that I do host on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at 1:03 p.m. every workday, which is coming up in about half an hour's time from now. You're very welcome to join me there. But the top 3 priority concepts comes from Vern Harnish's work, because that's the type of routine and rhythm that really does set us free. So I reckon that is the end of the stuff I wanted to share with you. If you've been here live, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm really pleased you're here. If you're on the replay, thanks for checking out the replay. Ask any questions or comments. I'd love to hear from you. But I would like to look at, I'm looking directly in the camera now, and I'd like to say, if you are a leader that you can see yourself on that Culture is Everything roadmap, or Culture is Everything journey, I should say, and you are curious, caring, ready to be vulnerable, ready to show up and take yourself and your team to the next level as we finish 2020 and then go into 2021, then I'd love to invite you to join the Culture is Everything Club. I've been working for so long to figure out what's needed to build a great place to work in terms of Culture is Everything system, and then how us leaders can lean in and become the best versions of ourselves. It's a never-ending journey, but I'd love to help you to speed up the journey you're on. I'd love to support you. I'd love to guide you. I'd love to keep you to account on the progress you can make, because I really do believe the world needs more great places to work, but we can't do that. We can't create those great places to work, and unless we've got leaders who are on a journey to improve, to refine, and to be vulnerable enough to join a group, to support each other, and become the best they can be. So on that note, my name's Tristan White. I'm the founder and chief guide here at the Culture is Everything Club. I'm going to say thanks for joining this introduction, this demo. If you've got any questions, I'm going to get off the screen in a minute, but I'll stay on the call here. I can respond to comments for a little while if you'd like to. And by the same token, if you've got any questions, Tristan@tristanwhite.com.au is the place to email if you'd like to. Happy to speak to you, to email you, whatever is required to clarify any questions. And lastly, reminder that this Sunday, which will be Sunday the 21st of September, 11:59, so just before midnight, on Sunday night is the last chance you've got to join the Culture is Everything Club for 2020. All right, that's it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking some time to spend to check this out. My name's Tristan White. Have a great day. I look forward to hearing from you today, another day in the future. Take care. Catch you next time.